Part 5! Let's do this! Blah. This is Halo 3 ODST and anthropomorphic
Sometimes
beings.
the unexplainable is much more disturbing than that with a means of explanation. The cavemen, or monkey people, as some have taken to calling the phenomenon of Halo 3, have very little explanation or reason for their existence. If we walk to a very specific location on level 1 of Halo 3, Sierra 117, we will find a quite disturbing sight.
Thank you very much.
4 creatures sit motionless. The largest holds a teddy bear.
Wow.
Their bodies are covered in fur, but the body itself is quite human-like. The faces themselves are human. In fact, it is said that their faces are modeled after the face of Marcus Leto, a senior employee at Bungie. I think the true disturbing nature of these creatures comes about when our mind plays with ideas of these things being more like an animal creature rather than a human. Something like a large, extremely anthropomorphic monkey. So you may be thinking, well, it's just an Easter egg with very little meaning. Well, here is something even stranger about this legend.
What?
These are the credits at the end of Halo ODST.
Oh, I remember this.
Obviously, this is the focus point of the cutscene, but we have the option of looking around. If we cut all the way to the left, look what we see. Yet another of the strange, monkey-like cavemen aboard the ship being inspected by a Marine.
That's Buck right there.
So, what do these creatures mean? That, my friends, is for you to decide.
Next video. This is Mario.ips or Mario. And go.
Sometimes there are tales that are so obscure with so much sustenance that they're much more than just a scary story. This is the type that I will be bringing to light for you. In the Super Mario World community, many players create their own additions or modifications for the original game. There was one such modification whose whereabouts are quite hazy, and the content within it leaves most wondering if it was just a really well-made hoax or if there's some deeper meaning behind it. This is Mario. A very bland and nondescript title for a mod, I thought. Opening the folder reveals 2 files, a text document titled 3007014 and an IPS modification file simply named Mario.ips. I decided to begin this investigation of sorts with the text file. Opening the file revealed a lot of seemingly nonsensical, meaningless characters. A lot, actually. In my thinking, way more than was necessary to just make something seem creepy. The text scrolls on to the right for ages.
Damn.
I noticed at the top the phrase, "Find me," was repeated a few times. I have it highlighted for you here. Find what? I thought. Well, I noticed there was some inconsistent and abnormal spacing within the text, so my mind immediately jumped to ASCII art. I changed the document's formatting to word wrap, but the document still had to be scrolled down about 4 times just to see it all. I decided to screenshot all the fragments and put it together in Paint.
Okay.
This is what I came up with. The spacing makes very weird little worm-like lines throughout the entirety of the picture. I must have stared at this thing for 15 minutes. My mind played tricks on me. Even
It
as I
almost
read
like a
this to
sad
you now,
face.
I can look over at this picture
Oh my
and
god.
my mind can just make me see so many different images within it. However, the text said, "Find me," so I felt there was something specific that I needed to be looking for. I began to do a little bit of research, read up on others' experiences with the mod. One post I read in particular intrigued me. It said how someone had taken the text, used some sort of hexadecimal system as well as a complicated text to JPEG procedure, and came up with a horrific image. I decided to click the link, and I was presented with this. Chills shot through my spine, and goosebumps formed on my skin. The image was so disturbing to me. The face had abnormally large eye sockets, but I could see the whites of the eyes still. They didn't match up, almost like this thing was wearing a mask. The side of its face seems perhaps deformed. It's hard to tell. All I know is that the image fascinated me, and I wanted to find it within the text for myself. I tried flipping the text landscape, mirroring its image. I tried overlaying the two images. Sometimes my mind would trick itself into seeing the face in the text. I would get really excited and immediately open it up in Paint just to color in the areas for myself. And then I'd lose the image in my head again. This went on for quite some time until I decided to just give up and move on to the game itself. That was where this whole thing became really disturbing. I'm going to show you some raw video from the gameplay I experienced.
It's like Super Mario World.
This part jolted me. The gameplay makes an extremely unnatural noise that's quite startling. Farther along, I noticed an eerie lack of enemies, like I was all alone, and after hitting this point of advice block, I was given this message: "I hate you." I decided to press on and see what was going on with the game. As I progressed to the next level, I noticed the map said, "Never come back." When stopping by Yoshi's, his block displayed a code of 1s and 0s when activated. After obtaining Yoshi, I activated this block and was told, "But is there anything I can do to change your mind?" This is the selfish way out. A little creeped out, I moved on to the next level, a world of darkness, followed by the next. I didn't remember this music being in this part of the game. Where were all the enemies? I continued further still to the castle, and the castle was just a long hallway of advice blocks. All of them were either blank or asked me the question, "Don't you think you've caused enough trouble?" I proceeded towards the end of the hall to the exit and was warped to a boss battle. Finally, after defeating the boss, I was displayed the ending animation for that castle and the most horrific part of this entire ordeal. As the victory music continues to play cheerfully in the background, we are told, "Victim number 1, eyeballs were unable to be found. The victim was found lying on her carpet. Causes of death unknown. Hand marks with unidentifiable fingerprints were found all over the corpse." I was sufficiently horrified at this point, but I decided against better judgment to just press on a little longer, just to see this mystery through to the end. I took the new passage that had opened for me. I was given 2 advice blocks. One said, "There's no way out of here." The other told me, "Fly away." We appeared in a dark hallway. I ran and ran until we ended up porting through a wall, and I was left at a platform with an abyss at the bottom. I decided to jump down, and my game crashed. I had seen all I needed to see. enough to present this to others. So, what do you think? Is it a really well-made story, or something a little bit more sinister?
Next video. The next one is Ghosts of Halo. Please give me something good picture, please. Oh.
An obscure but documented and disturbing phenomenon has been occurring within Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo Reach. This phenomenon is known as the Ghosts of Halo. During an online game, or whilst using the Forge level creator, even single player, many players have reported that unidentified players not controlled by another human spawn within their game. These ghosts tend to have bizarre, erratic movements and strange features. They are unmarked, carrying no online name, and they don't show up on rosters or scoreboards. The ghosts have very strange traits that set them apart from human players. They can perform difficult jumps and tricks with ease. They can teleport around the map at will, mimic other players' movements, take the shape of another player that they meet. They have working AI to a degree. They can be both docile or aggressive. When shooting, they never miss. In rarer cases, they are invulnerable and cannot be killed.
Oh my
Medals
god.
and achievements cannot be earned by killing these entities. They have unlimited ammunition and can switch between their weapons unnaturally fast. They can spawn with any weapon regardless of what's available on the map. These entities have no walking, turning, or falling animations, but rather they hover and glide everywhere they move. They are able to trick motion trackers and appear as allies or enemies. They can spawn equipment from the Forge, environmental items that aren't supposed to be on the map, out of nowhere. There is even talk that they can cause standbys and lag all the way to complete network errors affecting all players. Most disturbing of all, though, is when they kill a player. Within the games, if you are killed by reasons other than a player, that point is awarded to a group known as the Guardians, a placeholder name to properly appropriate kill credits fairly. However, when killed by a ghost, the point is awarded to this intangible group as well. There are a range of theories on what could cause these ghosts, such as intense network stress errors to the more macabre, truly dead and risen puppets controlled by other forces. No theories have been proven yet, so I ask you, who are the ghosts?
Next video. So the next one is about G-Man from Half-Life series. Quickly smile though.
The G-Man, a disturbing and reoccurring character in the Half-Life series. He has been widely discussed, perhaps even one of the most theorized anomalies in gaming. But with all of the theories, the myths, the hoaxes, the delvings deep into the game's story and plot, there remains to be one unexplained circumstance of the G-Man, his purpose. Within the games, the G-Man is described as a sinister interdimensional bureaucrat. He wields inhuman powers, the ability to be anywhere at any time. He has the power of slipping between dimensions at his fingertips, and he can be seen using this power to stalk the main character all throughout Half-Life,
Oh, that's creepy.
appearing in nondescript, discreet, and off-putting locations when the player least expects it, without warning. The G-Man's intentions are never explained, but he states that he answers to a higher power that he only refers to as his employer. Notable traits of the G-Man include his form-fitted business suit, his briefcase, and, most disturbing of all, his voice.
Rise and shine,
Mr. Freeman, rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply I've been sleeping on the job. No one is for deserving of a rest, and all has been to the world would have gone to waste until...
Well, let's just say your hour has come again.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman.
Wake up and smell the ashes.
Creepy.
The G-Man has no explanation or reason. None that is ever revealed in the game, at least. So, who is the G-Man, and why does he stalk you?
Next, this is about legendary Uboa.
Uboa, an extremely strange and disturbing phenomenon occurring in the equally disturbing video game, Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki places you in all kinds of freaky, gory dream worlds, but what we are interested in is Paniko's room. If we visit a dream world known as the Snow World, we can find a house that the character Paniko lives in. On the wall is a light switch which can be turned off. Each time you enter the room, there is a 1 in 64 chance that flipping the switch will trigger the Uboa event, something that, if you aren't expecting, would startle and scare most gamers. I will now present a clip of the event occurring.
Okay. And about the part thingy, a reminder is that I'm gonna finish the part with hearing all
As we
parts.
can see, Paniko's sprite is replaced by the horrifying face of Uboa. A loud and menacing sort of scream sound is continuously playing over and over. The objects in the room have changed and now have eyes on them. What's even worse, though, is that the room cannot be left now, and Uboa will slowly come at you in the room. When Uboa finally touches you, his face contorts, and the player is transported to a strange, unescapable world known as Monochrome Street. As we walk through this liquid, we see a strange, 5-armed creature bleeding in the background. Occasionally, we pass Uboa's distorted face. Once you are here, you are trapped and unable to leave. There are countless theories as to why this occurs and what Uboa represents. A large portion stating Uboa represents an emotion the character may have repressed, such as sadness, hatred, regret,
Instead of 12:15.
guilt. Truly, I think that Uboa will always be wrapped in a sort of horrific mystery, but I'll ask you, why do you think Uboa exists? What does he stand for?
Next video. This is Kyokyo-kun from Yume Nikki on the stairway.
Kyokyo-kun, a strange and disturbing character within the video game Yume Nikki, has quite a corrupt theory behind it. With any game whose horror is unexplained, many theories will follow, Yuminiki having many. However, there is one theory directly involving Kyukyu-kun that is more credible and substantial than the rest.
Okay.
Our character, Matatsuki, never leaves her apartment, preferring to stay locked away with her dreams, rather than leave into the real world. And for a reason, too. Matatsuki was brutally and violently raped.
What?
Kyukyu-kun is the physical embodiment of all of the emotions tied to the traumatic occurrence. Regret, sadistic sexual pleasure, forceful intent.
Yeah.
While Matsuki is within the numbers world, we come to a wall with 2 spread legs and a zipper. This is representing a woman's genitalia. If we select the knife, the zipper is stabbed and opens with blood leaking internally in sexual representation. As we walk up this hallway, we encounter Kyukyu-kun. His physical body is phallic in shape, and he is seen smiling sinisterly and stroking a handrail on a flight of stairs, once again with sexual symbolism. As we can see here, if we stand idle for long enough, Matatsuki will sit down upon the stairs, bury her head between her knees, and close her eyes, no doubt feeling emotions of shame and regret. Interestingly enough, if we pull out the knife, this excites Kyukyu-kun, causing him to move his hand quicker, lending symbolism to forceful and violent sexual excitement. Finally, as we make our way to the end and enter the door, we are shown this disturbing short animation.
It's an epileptic seizure. I'm just gonna wait until the animation is gone, and you guys, and your eyes will be free. There we go.
Many say if you pause the video, this strange face is obscurely representative of the female birth canal. As individuals, we all form our own unique opinions about things, but the symbolism here is quite strong. To the players of Yuminiki, I ask you, what is your take on the theory?
New video. This is Bubsy Goes to Hell.
We're going to be doing something a little different for this video. I stumbled upon a disturbing video game hiding beneath a false premise. Bubsy 3D, a recreation of Bubsy 3D, but aimed at educating and motivating people about art and getting people involved in visiting their local art museums. Bubsy as an artistic educational game? This has got to be a hilarious joke, I thought, but there was something terrifying hidden in the game that I didn't expect. I shall now show you my playthrough of the game and narrate when necessary.
I feel it's gonna be 2 more parts of me watching Creepy Gaming, because these videos are getting longer and longer.
Hey Bubsy, good morning. Jump with space.
Huh? I think Bubsy's on drugs.
Bubsy, you should check out the art museum. Look, it's the Los Angeles County Museum of Art.
Wow.
This is it.
What the fuck? Something. So for that, something scratched. That means like itch on my knee. I got no reactions for this one.
I heard the final piece, St. Elmo's breath is unreal, a spiritual experience.
So, okay, so tell those which is
It's
important,
beautiful.
which is important.
This, my friends, is where things became strange.
What the hell? What the hell? What? What the hell? Okay. What? Okay. What the hell? No one got some reaction to this one. Okay. Where the hell is it going? Oh no. Is this what was it? Bubsy goes to hell? I mean, that's what the title says, okay.
What a wild ride. I'm finally an adult.
What is this supposed to be? Okay.
Redemption. You have no alternative. The wheels of capitalism will forever grind our bones into dust. No object, no form, no relief, no salvation. I feel suffocated by my responsibilities.
What the hell is this? What game is that?
I need relief.
Applebee's. Huh? Okay. What is it saying? Art. Huh. Yeah, that's it. Part 6 next. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time, part 6. Peace.